Have you ever found yourself frustrated by someone's actions, wondering why they behave a certain way, why they let you down, or why they seem so different from what you expect? Human relationships can be both our greatest source of joy and our deepest challenge. Yet, navigating them effectively requires more than instinct or emotion. It demands wisdom and understanding. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we uncover 12 truths about people that are both timeless and transformative. These truths reveal the essence of human nature, offering clarity in a world often clouded by misunderstanding. Imagine being able to respond to conflicts at work with calm instead of frustration, to approach your relationships with empathy rather than judgment, and to find peace even when people disappoint you. These are not abstract ideals. They are practical lessons that can elevate your interactions and mindset starting today. In this journey, you'll learn how to embrace imperfection, understand motivations, and develop unshakable patience and resilience. These insights aren't just for reflection, they're actionable tools for mastering human connections, whether in your career, friendships, or family life. Are you ready to uncover the truths that will transform your relationships and bring harmony to your life? Let's begin. 1. People are imperfect, embracing flaws for inner peace. People are imperfect, embracing flaws for inner peace. As a Stoic philosopher, the recognition of human imperfection lies at the heart of harmonious relationships and inner tranquility. Imperfection is not merely an occasional lapse, it is the very essence of our shared humanity. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Meditations. This acknowledgement is not about condoning flaws, but about liberating ourselves from the unrealistic expectations that breed disappointment and unrest. Consider a common scenario. A friend forgets an important promise, perhaps your birthday, despite years of shared celebrations. The initial sting of hurt might compel you to question their care or loyalty. Yet, stepping back with a Stoic perspective allows for deeper reflection. Could their lapse stem from exhaustion, a busy mind, or unintentional oversight? Epictetus teaches, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Enchiridion. Redirecting your focus from their imperfection to your response grants you freedom. Freedom from resentment and unnecessary emotional turmoil. Flaws appear in countless forms. A colleague missing a critical detail on a shared project, a family member arriving late to an event, or a friend failing to communicate effectively. Such instances often strain our connections, but they also challenge us to reflect. Am I holding others to a standard of perfection I do not meet myself? Recognizing that everyone is a work in progress fosters patience, compassion, and mutual understanding. It reminds us that imperfection is not a hindrance, but a space for growth. Stoicism also urges us to turn this lens inward. Are we just as unforgiving of our own errors? Seneca's insight, "No man was ever wise by chance," Letters to Lucilius, highlights that wisdom and excellence are earned through trial and reflection, not innate perfection. Expecting flawlessness, whether from others or ourselves, denies the beauty of the journey, the constant refining and learning that define human life. This philosophy manifests powerfully in parenting. A parent demanding perfect behavior from their child often becomes frustrated, missing the teachable moments that mistakes provide. Similarly, a child expecting infallibility from their parent is bound for disillusionment. Embracing imperfection strengthens the bond, creating space for patience, trust, and mutual growth. Ultimately, accepting imperfection is not resignation, it is liberation. It allows us to extend grace to others and resilience to ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. Meditations. By embracing imperfection, we align with the natural rhythm of humanity, finding peace not in an unattainable ideal, but in the ever-evolving process of becoming. 2. People prioritize themselves. Understanding human nature beyond selfishness. At the core of human nature lies an undeniable truth. People tend to prioritize their own needs and interests. This reality is not a condemnation of selfishness, but an acknowledgement of the innate drive for self-preservation and personal fulfillment. Recognizing this truth allows us to navigate relationships with empathy, patience, and greater understanding of the human condition. Imagine a colleague who claims credit for a collective achievement in a work project. At first glance, their behavior may seem self-serving and inconsiderate. However, consider the possibility that their actions stem from a fear of being overlooked or a deep need for validation. Epictetus reminds us, when someone acts poorly, remember, they act that way because they think it is right. Discourses. This perspective reframes their behavior not as malicious intent, but as a response to their own struggles, enabling us to respond with grace rather than resentment. This principle extends beyond the workplace. Consider a student in a group project who prioritizes completing their portion of work over assisting others. This may appear as a lack of collaboration, but it could reflect their need to secure their grades amidst a heavy workload. Or think of a neighbor declining to join a community event, not because they lack goodwill, but because they need solitude after a taxing week. Recognizing their priorities fosters understanding and reduces unnecessary conflict. Even within the closest relationships, people naturally prioritize themselves. A parent sacrifices rest to care for their child, not solely out of altruism, but because the child's well-being aligns with their profound sense of purpose. Similarly, a friend may withdraw during personal hardships, not out of neglect, but because they are consumed by their own challenges. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "You always have the option of having no opinion. There is never a need to get worked up or to trouble your soul." Meditations. By focusing on our response instead of others' actions, we free ourselves from unnecessary turmoil. Accepting this aspect of human nature allows us to approach relationships with balanced expectations. It invites us to respect others' autonomy while maintaining our own boundaries. This understanding is not about excusing thoughtlessness, but about embracing the reality that prioritizing oneself is a natural and necessary part of life. As Seneca remarked, "He who is brave is free." Letters to Lucilius. In understanding this dynamic, we liberate ourselves from the weight of unrealistic expectations and foster relationships rooted in mutual respect. By seeing self-prioritization as a balance rather than a flaw, we create space for healthier connections and personal peace. This perspective helps us honor others' decisions without resentment while ensuring that our own needs are met. Ultimately, recognizing this truth enriches the dance of human interaction, transforming potential conflict into opportunities for deeper empathy and understanding. 3. People are driven by emotions, unlocking the heart of human behavior. Have you ever noticed how a fleeting comment spoken in anger can linger in your mind for days? Or how a heated argument can spiral out of control, leaving both sides wondering how things escalated so quickly? At the core of these experiences lies a universal truth. Emotions often guide human behavior, overpowering logic and reason. Emotions are not just fleeting reactions, they are the invisible compass that influences our decisions, interactions, and relationships. Picture a friend who cancels plans at the last minute, leaving you confused and hurt. At first glance, their actions might seem dismissive or careless, but consider this. Could their decisions stem from inner turmoil, stress, or a wave of unprocessed emotions they don't yet understand? Recognizing this, that emotions often drive behavior, shifts our perspective from judgment to empathy. It allows us to see others not as deliberate sources of hurt, but as individuals navigating their own emotional struggles. The Stoics understood this dynamic profoundly. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Meditations. This teaching invites us to remain anchored, even when others' emotional waves crash against us. While emotions are undeniably powerful, they are not always rational. By acknowledging their influence, we gain clarity and can choose patience over impulsive reactions. In a modern workplace, imagine a colleague reacting defensively to constructive feedback. Is their response a reflection of poor professionalism, or is it driven by a fear of inadequacy? Pausing to consider the emotional roots of their behavior not only diffuses tension, but also strengthens understanding and trust. Similarly, in a personal context, a loved one's sharp words might hide deeper feelings of stress or insecurity. Seeking to understand the emotions beneath their words often reveals truths that logic alone cannot uncover. Accepting that emotions drive human behavior is not about excusing harmful actions. It's about understanding them. It's about looking beyond the surface to the intricate workings of the human heart. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Enchiridion. This perspective empowers us to navigate misunderstandings with grace and to approach conflicts as opportunities for connection rather than division. The next time you find yourself in conflict, pause and ask, what emotions might be driving this? In doing so, you will transform frustration into curiosity and judgment into compassion. By embracing this Stoic truth, you unlock a powerful tool for mastering relationships and connecting with the humanity in others. Through this lens, emotions become not obstacles, but pathways to deeper understanding and stronger bonds. 4. People are constantly changing, embracing the fluidity of human nature. Change is the unrelenting rhythm of life, shaping every belief, value, and action we hold. Human nature thrives on evolution, molded by experiences, environments, and personal growth. To reject this truth is to resist the very essence of existence. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless Meditations, reminds us, observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe delights in change. Imagine reconnecting with an old classmate who once shared your passions and perspectives. Over time, their views may now seem unrecognizable. Does this mean your connection was meaningless? Absolutely not. It reflects the natural course of life, a shared path that diverges as personal growth shapes unique journeys. Expecting people to remain unchanged is like demanding a river to halt its flow. It denies the beauty and purpose of transformation. Consider your own evolution. Perhaps as a student, you once fiercely defended a particular career path or idea, only to later realize it no longer resonated with your true self. This shift is not betrayal, but a testament to your capacity to learn and adapt. As Epictetus observed, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Discourses. Growth is the hallmark of wisdom, not its antithesis. In relationships, embracing change allows us to navigate challenges with grace. A romantic partner's shifting priorities or a colleague's adoption of a new work approach might feel disconcerting, but these are opportunities to rediscover and deepen understanding. For instance, a once reliable friend may now miss commitments, not out of disregard, but because they're adjusting to new life demands. Flexibility in such moments is not weakness. It is the wisdom to align with life's flow. However, adapting to others' changes doesn't mean losing your own values. The Stoics emphasize focusing on what you can control, your response, your mindset, and your commitment to growth. By accepting that change is inevitable, you release the burden of clinging to static ideals and instead find peace in the present. To effectively embrace change, start by reflecting on your own growth. Identify 3 beliefs or habits you've outgrown in the past 5 years, considering what sparked these shifts and how they've enriched your life. Next, observe others with curiosity rather than judgment. Think of someone whose behavior or perspective has shifted and ask yourself, what might have influenced their change? In moments of surprise or conflict, practice flexibility by pausing and reframing the situation. How can I approach this change with curiosity instead of resistance? To stay grounded amidst transformation, reaffirm your core values. Write down 3 principles that define you and serve as your anchor, ensuring flexibility without losing yourself. Finally, create a change journal. Each week, record one way you or someone close to you has changed and reflect on the positive or challenging impacts. These steps foster adaptability, empathy, and resilience in a world of constant evolution. When you embrace change, you align yourself with the natural rhythm of life, fostering empathy and resilience. As Marcus Aurelius beautifully stated, "Let not your mind run on what you lack as much as on what you have already." Accepting the fluidity of human nature empowers us to nurture deeper connections and find strength in the evolving dance of existence. Change is not an adversary, it is the essence of becoming. 5. People fear vulnerability, seeing beyond the mask. Vulnerability is a delicate, often misunderstood facet of human nature. Beneath outward confidence or composure, many people carry a deep-seated fear of exposing their true selves, worried they might face judgment, rejection, or misunderstanding. This fear doesn't signify weakness, but reflects our shared desire for safety and acceptance. Marcus Aurelius aptly advises in Meditations, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Recognizing the universal nature of vulnerability is the first step toward building meaningful, resilient relationships. Consider a friend who seems distant after a disagreement, refusing to address the issue. It's easy to assume indifference, but their behavior might stem from a fear of appearing weak or making the situation worse. Similarly, a colleague who downplays praise for their achievements may not lack confidence, but might fear the vulnerability of heightened expectations. Such behaviors often mask an internal struggle to protect oneself from perceived scrutiny or emotional exposure. When we recognize this dynamic, we can approach others with compassion rather than judgment. Instead of reacting to their apparent detachment or defensiveness, pause and ask yourself, what emotions might they be protecting? This perspective shifts your focus from frustration to curiosity, fostering understanding and trust. As Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Discourses. Listening attentively, without judgment or the urge to fix, creates a safe space where vulnerability is met with acceptance, not fear. Yet, seeing beyond vulnerability is not about forcing others to open up. It's about cultivating an environment where they feel secure enough to express themselves naturally. For example, rather than demanding explanations from a friend who has withdrawn, let them know you're available to listen whenever they're ready. This patience and openness build bridges, encouraging authenticity and strengthening your connection. Vulnerability when embraced with empathy, transforms from a barrier into a bond. It fosters deeper connections, creating relationships rooted in mutual trust and understanding. Imagine how your relationships might shift if you approached others with this mindset, offering not judgment, but kindness, not pressure, but patience. To foster vulnerability, begin with active listening in your next conversation. Focus on truly hearing the other person without interrupting or rushing to offer solutions. Instead, ask open-ended questions such as, "How did that make you feel?" or "What do you need right now?" Additionally, model vulnerability by sharing a small personal challenge or emotion with someone you trust. By demonstrating your openness, you create a safe space for them to share in return, building a foundation for deeper, more authentic connections. By embracing this Stoic principle, you unlock a powerful tool for understanding human nature and building authentic relationships. As you navigate the complexities of vulnerability, remember, it is not weakness, but the foundation of genuine connection and growth. 6. People seek validation, the universal desire to be seen and valued. At the core of human behavior lies a universal truth. Everyone seeks validation. Whether through a smile, a kind word, or recognition for their efforts, the need to feel valued and understood is woven into the fabric of our existence. This isn't a flaw or weakness, it's a natural and deeply human drive. By understanding and embracing this truth, we can approach others with greater kindness and empathy. Picture a colleague who eagerly shares their achievements in a meeting, or a friend who often posts about their life on social media. It's easy to dismiss these actions as attention-seeking, but beneath them lies a simple desire to feel acknowledged. As Marcus Aurelius noted, we are all working together to complete one whole, as the body's individual limbs work together. Meditations. Validation is the glue that fosters connection and reminds us of our place within the larger tapestry of human relationships. This need for validation manifests in subtle yet profound ways. A child seeks approval from their parents with every drawing they proudly present. An employee thrives when their hard work is recognized by their manager. Even the quietest individuals appreciate being noticed and valued for who they are. These moments of recognition affirm our existence and remind us that our contributions, no matter how small, matter. Rather than criticizing this need in others, consider how it feels when your own efforts go unnoticed. Have you ever worked tirelessly on a project only to be met with silence? The sting of being overlooked isn't just about pride, it's about the innate human desire to feel seen. Understanding this truth invites us to approach others with compassion. Instead of rolling our eyes or dismissing someone's actions as self-centered, we can ask, what might this person be seeking from me, and how can I offer them genuine acknowledgement? The Stoics teach us that while we should not depend entirely on external validation for our self-worth, recognizing its role in others' lives allows us to connect more deeply. As Epictetus wrote, "What concerns me is not the way things are, but the way people think things are." Discourses. Understanding their perception and their need to feel valued bridges gaps and strengthens bonds. Validation doesn't require grand gestures. It often resides in the smallest acts. A simple thank you, a word of encouragement, or even a moment of attentive listening can make a profound difference. By recognizing this need in others, we empower them to grow, thrive, and feel a sense of belonging. As we continue exploring these complex truths, remember, acknowledging someone's worth isn't about flattery or obligation. It's about honoring the shared humanity in all of us. Let this truth guide you in creating relationships rooted in respect and understanding, and watch how it transforms the world around you. 7. People act based on their perspective, embracing diversity for greater empathy. Every action, belief, and decision people make is shaped by their unique experiences, culture, and environment. To understand why someone behaves a certain way, we must step outside our own worldview and embrace the diversity that defines human perspectives. This truth, while simple in theory, holds immense power in reducing judgment and fostering empathy. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" Meditations. Self-reflection reminds us that our perspectives are just as limited as those of others. Imagine a colleague who resists a new idea at work. Their hesitation might seem frustrating, even stubborn at first glance. But consider their perspective. Perhaps past failures have made them cautious, or their cultural background places greater value on tradition over innovation. By approaching them with curiosity instead of criticism, you create opportunities for understanding and collaboration. This shift transforms potential conflict into shared growth. Perspectives act as lenses through which people interpret the world. For instance, someone raised in a fast-paced urban environment might view punctuality as a sign of respect, while another from a rural background might prioritize flexibility over timeliness. Neither viewpoint is right or wrong. They simply reflect different realities. Recognizing this helps us appreciate the diversity in thought and behavior without imposing our own values onto others. Empathy plays a central role in navigating these differences. Consider a friend who suddenly becomes distant. It's easy to assume disinterest, but their behavior might stem from personal challenges or emotional overwhelm. Instead of reacting with frustration, pause and ask, what might they be experiencing that I don't see? This shift in perspective transforms judgment into compassion, deepening your connection. Epictetus wrote, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Discourses. Reacting with understanding strengthens relationships and builds a foundation for meaningful interactions. Acknowledging that people act based on their perspectives doesn't mean abandoning your own values. Instead, it means recognizing that no single worldview holds all the answers. This awareness fosters patience, reduces conflict, and bridges divides, enabling deeper connections. To apply the insight that people act based on their perspectives, start by pausing before judging. In your next interaction, take a moment to ask yourself, what unique experiences or beliefs might be shaping this person's actions? This simple step helps shift your focus from assumptions to understanding. Next, broaden your perspective by engaging in conversations with individuals from different backgrounds or cultures. Ask open-ended questions such as, what shaped your view on this, to gain insight into their worldview. Finally, take time to reflect on your own biases. Write down a situation where you judged someone and examine the assumptions you made. Consider how their perspective might differ from yours and what factors may have influenced their actions. These practices foster empathy, reduce misunderstandings, and create opportunities for deeper connections with others. By embracing the diversity of human perspectives, you master the art of empathy, fostering stronger, more harmonious relationships. This approach not only deepens understanding, but also empowers you to navigate life with greater grace and confidence. If this message resonates with you, share it with others to inspire understanding and empathy. Together, we can create a ripple effect of positivity and deeper connection. 8. People will disappoint you. Forgiveness as the path to inner peace. How many times have you felt disappointed by the person you trust the most? Does that feeling of disappointment linger in your heart? Stoicism offers a way to transform this pain into peace. No matter how strong the bond or how deep the trust, nobody can meet your expectations all the time. This is not a reflection of malice or inadequacy, but of human imperfection. Recognizing this truth is the cornerstone of cultivating peace within yourself and harmony with others. As Marcus Aurelius observed, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." Meditations. This realistic acceptance of human nature prepares us to face disappointments with equanimity. Picture a scenario. A close friend forgets an important promise, leaving you hurt and questioning the strength of your connection. It's tempting to react with anger or withdrawal. But what if instead you paused and asked yourself, could they be overwhelmed with something I don't know? Could this mistake be a moment of human frailty rather than intentional disregard? This shift in perspective transforms frustration into understanding, helping you see the situation through a more compassionate lens. Disappointments often stem from the gap between expectation and reality. A partner who fails to notice a gesture of affection, a colleague who misses a deadline, or a family member who falls short of their commitments. All these moments highlight the limitations of relying too heavily on others to fulfill your needs. Epictetus reminds us, "Demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." Enchiridion. By adjusting our expectations to align with the realities of human fallibility, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Forgiveness is the antidote to disappointment. It is not about condoning harmful actions or excusing neglect. Rather, it is about releasing the emotional weight these experiences place on our hearts. When you forgive, you reclaim your peace, choosing growth over resentment. Consider how liberating it feels to let go of lingering anger toward a friend or family member. Forgiveness doesn't erase the memory, but transforms it into a lesson in patience and empathy. Accepting that people will disappoint you doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means embracing the complexity of human relationships with grace. As you navigate this journey of understanding, let forgiveness guide you, allowing space for others to grow and for yourself to thrive. These complex truths challenge us to confront the deeper layers of human interaction, fostering resilience and wisdom. Stay with us as we explore the remaining truths, each offering another piece of the puzzle to mastering connections and creating a life grounded in understanding and peace. 9. People are drawn to the illusion of control, embracing uncertainty to find freedom. Life often feels like a series of tasks to manage, decisions to make, and outcomes to control. Yet beneath this illusion lies a profound truth. Most things in life are beyond our grasp. The weather, the actions of others, and the passage of time, all these forces operate independently of our will. While this reality may initially feel unsettling, it is also deeply liberating. As Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us, and some things are not. Enchiridion. Accepting this dichotomy frees us from unnecessary frustration and shifts our focus to what truly matters. Think about a meticulously planned vacation only to have delays or bad weather disrupt everything. Frustration likely bubbled up, making you feel as though all your efforts were wasted. Or consider a relationship where you poured energy into trying to change someone's behavior, only to face disappointment when they stayed the same. These moments highlight how tightly we cling to the illusion of control and how doing so often leads to unnecessary suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Meditations. Instead of railing against life's unpredictability, The Stoic approach teaches us to focus on our responses and actions, rather than attempting to control the uncontrollable. Why is the illusion of control so pervasive? Because it provides a sense of security, the belief that we can mold the world to fit our desires. But true freedom comes not from controlling external circumstances, but from mastering our inner world. Imagine a business owner facing economic uncertainty. They might be tempted to panic over fluctuating market trends, but instead they focus on strengthening their skills and building a cohesive team, decisions firmly within their control. This shift in perspective transforms anxiety into actionable growth, turning an uncontrollable challenge into an opportunity for resilience. To embrace this truth in daily life, begin by distinguishing between what you can and cannot control. When faced with a challenge, pause and ask yourself, is this within my power to change? If the answer is no, redirect your energy toward what you can influence, your mindset and actions. Practice gratitude for the present moment, focusing on what's going well rather than obsessing over what's out of reach. Embrace life's uncertainties as opportunities for growth, viewing each surprise as a chance to practice adaptability and inner peace. From today, pay closer attention to the expectations you place on yourself and others. Notice when you're holding tightly to the illusion of control and consciously let it go. Focus instead on what lies within your power, your thoughts, choices, and efforts. By adopting this mindset, you'll uncover a profound freedom and lay the foundation for greater clarity, success, and peace in every area of your life. And if this message resonates with you, share it with others to spread this timeless wisdom, creating a ripple effect of resilience and understanding. 10. People avoid what they don't want to face. Growth begins where comfort ends. It's human nature to shy away from uncomfortable truths. Whether it's ignoring financial troubles, avoiding difficult conversations, or refusing to acknowledge personal flaws, people often prefer the temporary solace of denial over the discomfort of confrontation. However, as Stoicism teaches us, true growth begins the moment we face reality. As Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, you must build up your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can keep you from this. Meditations. Facing reality is not just a step toward self-improvement, it is the foundation of meaningful progress. Imagine an employee who avoids addressing repeated errors in their work. Instead of seeking feedback or reflecting on their process, they find excuses or blame external factors. While this might shield them from short-term discomfort, it perpetuates long-term mediocrity. Confronting the truth that they need to improve certain skills might be daunting, but it opens the door to growth, professional advancement, and personal confidence. Avoidance, while comforting, becomes a silent barrier to success. Why do people avoid what they don't want to face? Because confrontation often triggers fear of failure, rejection, or inadequacy. Yet the Stoics recognized that facing fear is integral to mastering life. Epictetus advised, "It is impossible to begin to learn that which one thinks one already knows." Discourses. Denial not only stalls progress, but also narrows our vision, keeping us trapped in a cycle of avoidance. The benefits of confronting uncomfortable truths extend far beyond personal growth. In relationships, addressing issues head-on prevents misunderstandings and builds trust. In work, acknowledging weaknesses fosters collaboration and improvement. Take, for example, a leader who admits a poor decision to their team. Instead of losing credibility, they gain respect for their honesty and willingness to grow. Facing the truth isn't easy, but it strengthens the bonds of trust and authenticity. How can you apply this principle in daily life? Begin by identifying areas you've been avoiding. Is it a financial issue you've been reluctant to address? A health concern you've ignored? Or a relationship that needs honest communication? Write these down and take one small step toward confronting them. Seek feedback, ask questions, and reflect with honesty. 11. People struggle with their inner conflicts. Understanding the battle within. Every person you meet carries a world of inner struggles, silent battles between their desires and their needs, their ambitions and their fears, their values and their impulses. These internal conflicts shape much of their behavior, often making it seem contradictory or perplexing to those around them. Yet, as the Stoics teach, acknowledging these struggles within ourselves and others is key to understanding and connecting with humanity. Have you ever seen someone hesitate over a decision that seemed straightforward? Perhaps a friend who dreams of switching careers but remains stuck in a stable, unfulfilling job. They desire freedom but need security. Or consider a colleague who oscillates between enthusiasm for a project and a fear of taking the lead. These behaviors aren't signs of weakness, they're reflections of the inner conflict that defines the human experience. Why do these conflicts arise? Because people are multifaceted beings, torn between different aspects of themselves. Epictetus captures this duality when he says, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Discourses. Desires, shaped by emotions and external influences, often pull us in one direction, while needs, grounded in logic and survival, pull us in another. Navigating this tug-of-war is one of life's most profound challenges. Acknowledging these struggles fosters empathy. Instead of labeling someone as indecisive or inconsistent, consider what internal battles they might be facing. A friend who cancels plans may not be unreliable but overwhelmed by a need for solitude. A partner who appears distant may not be uninterested but wrestling with unspoken fears or insecurities. Understanding this makes us more patient and compassionate, enabling deeper and more meaningful relationships. The Stoic perspective reminds us that we, too, are not immune to these conflicts. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Meditations. Recognizing our own inner struggles is the first step to mastering them. By identifying where our desires clash with our values or needs, we can make more deliberate choices and align our actions with what truly matters. In practice, addressing inner conflicts begins with reflection. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? What do I truly need? Where are these at odds? Writing down your thoughts can help clarify priorities and untangle the web of emotions and logic. When you recognize this dynamic in others, approach them with curiosity rather than judgment, asking, what might they be trying to balance? By understanding that people struggle with their inner conflicts, you unlock the ability to navigate relationships and challenges with wisdom and grace. This truth ties closely to the next, the ultimate journey to self-awareness and the acceptance of imperfection within ourselves and others. Stay with us to discover how embracing these truths can transform your life. 12. People don't truly understand themselves. Unlocking the key to inner harmony. How well do you truly know yourself? This question, though simple, reveals a profound truth. Most people navigate life without fully understanding their inner workings. A lack of self-awareness creates insecurity, fuels chaos, and leads to decisions misaligned with one's values and desires. Marcus Aurelius captured this elegantly when he wrote, "We suffer more in our thoughts than in reality." Meditations. The illusions we create about who we are, what we want, and how we function often generate more turmoil than external circumstances ever could. Imagine a person striving for success, tirelessly chasing goals dictated by societal expectations. Despite their achievements, they feel unfulfilled, unable to pinpoint why. Could it be because they're pursuing a path that doesn't align with their authentic self? Or consider someone who constantly blames others for their unhappiness, oblivious to the role their own insecurities and unresolved emotions play. These scenarios highlight how the absence of self-awareness leads to repeated cycles of frustration and misdirection. Why is understanding oneself so difficult? The Stoics believed it's because we often fear what we might find. Self-reflection requires vulnerability and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths. As Seneca observed, most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Letters to Lucilius. Gaining self-awareness isn't about perfection. It's about peeling back the layers of assumptions and habits to discover your core truths. Accepting this reality offers transformative benefits. When you understand yourself, you make decisions rooted in authenticity, leading to a more fulfilling and peaceful life. You recognize your triggers, manage your emotions, and communicate with clarity. Imagine the freedom of knowing why you feel the way you do, or why certain situations affect you so deeply. This clarity enhances not only your relationship with yourself, but also your connections with others. So, how can you begin this journey? Start with small steps. Dedicate time daily to self-reflection, journaling your thoughts, identifying patterns in your behavior, and asking yourself tough questions. Why do I react this way? What truly matters to me? Can illuminate areas of growth. Seek feedback from trusted friends or mentors who can provide an external perspective. From today, commit to exploring your inner world. Understanding yourself is not a one-time revelation, but a lifelong process. By embracing this truth, you unlock the ultimate key to mastering your emotions, choices, and relationships. Stay with us as we conclude this journey into Stoic wisdom, weaving together these truths into a roadmap for a life of clarity, resilience, and fulfillment. Embrace Stoic wisdom and transform your life. As we conclude this journey through the 12 truths you need to accept about people, it becomes clear how deeply Stoic philosophy resonates with our modern lives. These truths, ranging from accepting imperfections, understanding the role of emotions, embracing change, to uncovering the illusions of control and self-awareness, offer profound insights into human nature. By recognizing and applying these principles, you equip yourself with tools to navigate relationships, reduce stress, and cultivate inner peace. The power of these truths lies in their practicality. They help you not just survive life's complexities, but thrive within them. Now it's your turn to act. Take what you've learned and apply it to your daily interactions. Begin observing, reflecting, and embracing the wisdom shared here. Let these truths be the foundation for personal growth and meaningful connections. If you've enjoyed this video and stayed with us until the end, share your thoughts in the comments below. Write "Wisdom Unlocked" to show that you've embraced these lessons. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Stoic insights and life-changing lessons. Together, we'll continue exploring timeless wisdom to transform our lives. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.